So hi, my name is Lou. I'm at the London Arts Trust. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm at the London Arts Trust building here in London, over at Angel Station area. So I've come in from New York to put up a couple pieces, and I'm going to show you what's in the gallery tonight. This is part of, is it called Art Wars? The show's called Art Wars, this little section over here. It's a Star Wars take. So we have some, it's Star Wars obviously, but there's some pretty cool stuff here. There's Mr. Brainwash here, some kind of a print, kind of a neat piece. There's another piece here that's pushed through, so it's kind of, I guess, a fiberglass snout of that. This looks like a photo of a neon, but it might be illustrated. I have no idea. I was here last night, but I didn't meet this artist. I have no idea how they made that. Here's another Star Wars. This, I have no idea. Looks like it's printed on Kodak style paper, and then what he did is he burned the edges out and then mounted it on like a board and floated it inside there. It's a very nice presentation. That's a nice piece. I mean, I would like to take that piece home. That's a nice piece. This piece is another Mr. Brainwash, but he's doing something different here. I don't know where he got this image. We all know that Mr. Brainwash gets his images from somewhere. He doesn't come up with them, he gets them. He's Mr. Appropriation, okay? That doesn't matter here. I like this piece. It's a pop art. The queen, I think that's the queen. We don't have a queen where I live, but this looks like a queen to me. But it's always gotta be irreverent with this queen. Okay, so that's what they've got there. Down here is a really cool piece. I like it because it's a little off center, so it looks almost like a realistic portrait. It's not straight down the middle like a graphic piece. It's a little off kilter. And it's also a pushed out sculpted piece, but it's slightly anamorphic in there. Now this is done by Ben Moore. You pay attention to this artist, okay? Joe Ijoima, or something like that. He'll correct us all later. This is kind of a cool piece because he's done it so that it looks like it's slightly out of focus, or it's pixelating, and it's painted that way. So it's real dab painted. It's like they're like splats and dabs that make it look a little out of focus. It makes it kind of nice. This piece, I guess it's still in the Star Wars theme. I'm not sure what it's doing here. It looks like it's painted acrylic on paper. Now this looks like a real painting on a canvas that's on a board or something. It's a stretched canvas. It's on a canvas frame, stretcher bars. Very nice. These two look like a pair, look like they're done by the same artist, which they are, Robert Baldwin. Not bad, not bad. Now these are cool. This is the beginning of like a cool image to me, because it's a twist on a couple different things. It's composited together to where he's using one image, and then he's using these other menacing pieces that go across here with these shark's teeth. And then he did like an inverted, this is an inversion of that. It's the same colors, the same saturation, but just inverted. And it just gives you a different colorway, like a series. It's pretty nice. Now this is an original piece, whereas these were prints. This is an original piece. You can see the textures on it. You can see that there's buildup of something, like little paper or some kind of stuff that's glued on there, and it's all smudged in there. And then he painted over it, and then did some lines to show these faces. Pretty nice. This is one of my favorite pieces here. I spoke to this artist last night. He calls himself Scooney. Scooney. He makes this whole thing. I thought it was a bronze piece, but it's not. It's I think it's fiberglass pieces, and all this stuff is all put together, and he makes molds. This isn't just some stuff chopped together. This is all molded. This is a thought-out piece that's designed and sculpted like a real sculpture. It's not just some junk stuck together. I wish you could see this in person. What he's done is put all this, built molds for all these pieces, except for the spear. I think that's a separate piece of metal or something. I'd have to ask. The thing that's nice about this is what I said earlier. It's got a really beautiful patina. So he makes it look like something from the Bronze era. It's right out of, it's something you see in Rome on a gate or a wall. But he modernized it by putting these other components that are really contrary to what the rest of this form is. That's what I like about it. It's not an obvious cliche. It's got some nice interesting things. So he's doing a little play on some ideas. So there's an idea there. It's not just some junk thrown together. It's kind of nice. This is a big painting on canvas. I guess it's just I don't know if it's political or cultural or what it's making a statement about. It looks like this artist is more interested in nice colors, nice abstracting of shapes, how pieces come in here, and he's made a nice balance. This artist has a good balance. That's what I would guess if I saw the rest of their work. Now these are this is like real pop, real present day stuff. I've seen stuff like this just over at the art fair this afternoon. Looked exactly like this. I mean, little different seasoning, little different sauce. But I do like them. They're very, they lighten up a room. If you see this in a room, you're in a space where people are a little more gallery centric or a little more art knowledgeable because they're having fun with art. So it dates itself in a way. It'll date itself like that too. I won't put that in too. Now, what I like about this one I hadn't seen before, a little unexpected. So what the artist did was frame something, probably a piece of wood, and the painting, the background of it splatters all the way across the frame. I didn't notice that before. So I really like that about this one. If you could give me any of these, I would take one of these that's done like that with the frame. So they did another one over here, Popeye. It's done that way. So it's kind of unique. That was something that's kind of different about it. It's kind of nice. This piece looks like a big piece of linen. I talked to the artist last night. This is a big draped piece of linen, and she put a bar through the top and then a weighted piece at the bottom to hold it up on the wall nice. So it's a nice presentation. It's a beautiful piece, and it's painted. It's not a print of any medium. It's actually the artist painted this piece, so it's a painting. It's just not framed. That's all. Yeah, but it's a nice way to bring it, travel with something like that. It still makes a nice killer piece on the wall. It doesn't need to be framed. Now this guy, he's got another piece over there. I talked to him last night. What he's done, he affixed these little jewels on here, which give it a little dimensional play, a little twinkle if you look at it. But I told the artist last night, I said, this is your best piece, in my mind. This is an original, really original, nice idea. The composition, the way that it gives you a feeling right away when you see it, you have a feeling for it. You don't have to study it. You don't have to say, do I like the colors? You don't have to say, you don't have to think anything about it. It's a really standalone image that works in any kind of gallery. And it doesn't date itself too. You don't know when this is made. This could have been painted 20 years ago. It could be painted 20 years in the future. You will not know if this is new or old. It's a very good image. To me, this is more graphic. It's like a street piece where they're mixing up a lot of, they're mixing up a lot of verbiage, little miniature signage and he's got lots of, I don't know if he did that on purpose, but there's kind of messy stuff all over that. So that's his presentation. Returning Home, Lucy Rose Kerr. I don't know what this is. Okay, it's white ink, looks like on a black field, like a black sheet of paper. It's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. Well, Lucy sat here, so you imagine this is a black sheet of paper, and it's all tediously painted in with all these little tiny textures and details to make this cool landscape. So I like that. These are all the same artist, or are they? No. These two are the same artist. Okay, they're I don't know what to say. They're very graphic, they're very pretty, very nice balance. There's nothing offensive about them. There's, I don't know, they're pretty pieces, they're pretty graphics. This looks like a drawing, but it's actually a print of a small drawing, or a small print of a drawing. I don't know what size it could be. It could be this big, or it could be whatever. But it's nice. I like that. Is it still going? The battery hasn't given out. Okay, here's one for you. If you like women's underpants, that's Sarah's underpants. I don't know what they smell like. I don't see anything in there. They're just undies. I could see a drawing of this, but I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say. Like.
Yeah. But just make sure that we got the last load. Oh, we did. I hit it.
Okay. This piece kind of stands out as different than anything in this room. What he's got here is something to me that is like pop industrial. Okay? What I like is he used one of these CO2, I think this is like for druggies use these, right? It's like a drug thing or something. We used to use those in our BB guns, with the CO2 cartridge. So he's taken a photo of that and then trying to write up a message about it and then spill his name all the way across the bottom. Rolling? This is a guy named Harry Pye. It looks kind of like childlike in the way that it's, I don't know if that's on purpose or if that's as far as it goes, but then after you see this, you look up here and this is more rendered. This is modeled in, and it's actually has some lighting on it. You can see that there's a light source up here on the head of the skull, and then down here these are just flat like kids' drawings. Should I use that? No. Yes? These guys are all gonna hate me.
Keep going.
Okay, this is an unusual piece, and what he's got is he's got these kids drawing, and then
keep going.
Okay, so then down here you notice these really weird animals, but the animals are now modeled, so they're dimensionalized a little bit. It makes it kind of, I like that because you got the real flat stuff, and then you got the modeled stuff here, and then up here you've got this real painterly thing that's like floating over. So it's almost like three kinds of, it's almost like three disciplines in one painting. If you look at it, you have the model paintings, then you have the flat children's drawings, and then you have something that has dimension and a light source coming into it. So there's something there. Once you know, I didn't see it at first, but there is something there. Okay, this is by James Volkard. This is it's a painting on canvas. It's a real worked piece. This is not just a passing, you know, an idea that just blipped through. This is something that someone thought about when they painted and kind of worked it. It looks like you can see a nice feeling here in this. It's an actual thought on canvas. It's not just a thing trying to be a piece of art. It's a traditional view. It doesn't try to play any games, or it doesn't try to be political or anything. It's a very nice piece you could look at it tomorrow or 20 years from now and it'll still be appealing. It's still a very beautiful painting. This is a C print, which is a fancy word or a simple word for a print from a real photograph. It's printed in a photo lab with chemistry. It's not a print that goes back and forth like an inkjet style print. This is printed in a photo lab with chemicals. That's what a C print is. So this is a C print of a photo. Looks like it's shot in a studio somewhere. It's a really cool piece. It goes with all the other Star Wars. I mean, you can see why they selected it for this show. It's perfect. I don't know what that's made out of. Do you? This is another photographic image that's printed out on an aluminum panel. That's a process they do now. It's pretty cool. What I like about it is the lighting, the way that it just goes back. You know, it just goes back into a void. It's a pretty cool piece. This is done by Ben Moore. I saw this last night at the show, and a lot of people were hanging around looking at it. What it is a star field and like a light box enclosure with a black mask in the front. Pretty cool. Okay, this is Johan Wallstrom. This guy's good. These are really nice pieces. There's no hesitation in here. There's no. It's something that has its own unique flavor to it, which is you know. I love the way that it's just all these fields. It's a whole field of faces, and the way that he's done it, he's pulled it all together to create his own colorscape and his own designs. I like the big pieces. These are also his. The little, they're almost like snippets or detail pieces. I like the bigger ones where you see them as a giant design, right? Wave of faces. I like the bigger ones. This one I think is the best piece out of all of these here, out of this grouping. The design, the black, silver, little piece, little highlights of red. This is beautiful. This is beautiful stuff. It looks flat, okay? It appears to be flat, but it has contrast to it. It's a little tricky thing because he's created little highlights, little reflections and then little red adornments and little flecks all throughout, and it's a really pretty piece. This is one of my pieces. Actually, this drawing, I started the drawing in Los Angeles. I got the idea. I concepted it all out. I had the idea. I knew the person. I knew the woman. I knew her face, and I knew she was on this planet in this place. But when I moved to New York, I figured out all the details. I figured out, and I brought into it all of my design ideas. Yeah, there's the design of the architecture. There's the design of the tattoos. For me, it's a lot about how shapes work together. A lot about with the designs. So you'll see a lot of that in my work. Figuring out how to draw this part right here, believe it or not, was about a month's work just to figure that out. I know it sounds stupid, but that's what it took to figure that out, because when you draw these blends in pencil, it's smudgeable. You can smudge it. So that means you have to draw that stuff in first, and then afterwards draw those black details, and you can't change anything. If anything, you'll smudge all of it and just start over. So it's part of the challenge of doing a black and white pencil drawing is to carefully do it in step by step, so that you don't make any eraser marks or any mistakes, because you can't go back. If I did this with paint, I could easily just go in and paint some of that over and re-blend it in between those marks, but with this you can't do it. So this was a black and white original. It's a little bit bigger than this, and then what I did was, this is a tinted version that was printed here. So that's what it is. I've seen this done. This looks good in almost any color. You can do it in like 10 different colors. Prints.
Nice.